Hello, everyone. It is me, MrGamingGuitarist, and we got some chili here. Uh, Make sure you don't spill it, but there we go. The chili that I make is so much better than the chili that you can buy at Wendy's. That's for damn sure. But anyways, I'm doing this while I'm live streaming right now. And I finally figured out how to get the chat room on the live stream. Only took 1 year of fucking streaming until I finally figured that shit out. So, anyways. So, I'm going to eat, and then we're going to talk to the chat room. And yes, this is a Jalen Green jersey. Or I guess not a jersey, technically like a shirt jersey, where I much prefer to buy these than buying those jerseys that cost $100. You could spend $100, or you could spend, I think, $40 and just get a t-shirt that looks like a jersey. That's how I prefer to get my NBA merch. But of course, I got Jalen Green's jersey because number one, he's from the Rockets. Number two, I am a Rockets fan because I live in Houston. I wasn't always a Rockets fan, but it's because they were my dad's favorite team. I don't know, let's bite into this. Damn it, man. It's not hot enough. I gotta put it back. Alright, we should be good. I have resumed recording on OBS. Hopefully you can see the smoke coming off of that. So, I'm gonna enjoy this chili now. Well, the thing is, slack-offs, I've had both. Like, I've had chili with beans and without beans, and that's the thing, is I could go eat with or without, but my aunt hates chili without beans, and she told me, Jaren, if you cook chili without beans, I'm not gonna eat it. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll add some beans to it. But, you know, and it doesn't bother me. It's not like I'm one of those Texans that say, oh, it's not real chili if it has beans in it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever, it's fine. I like all kinds of chili. Well, if you're asking where am I from Texas, I'm wearing a Houston Rockets shirt, so that should tell you. And I'm not going to get any more specific than that. Right. Hal's from Houston too, goddamn. That's the thing, it's like, I've been here all my life, but I would love to live in Austin, because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the energy, the positivity of Austin, but I've always felt, every time I would take a trip to Austin, I always felt more like myself down there than I do here in my hometown. Isn't that fucking crazy? It's like, as soon as I was there, like what Owen Cook talks about, like you have control muscles, release muscles, I felt like I was in full release mode. Like, I could just talk to anybody. I didn't feel like I was going to get judged. And guess what? You want to know how many assholes I met during my trip in Austin? One. Everyone else was just as nice as you could ever imagine. And I even got, I got like 4 different girls' phone numbers during my time there. And of course, none of them replied back to me, but the fact that I even would walk up, talk to them for 5 or 10 minutes, have a great chat, and yeah. But, that was 5 years ago. But I loved Austin so much because that's also where I got inspired to want to do stand-up comedy. Because I accidentally heckled a comedian because I was doing a small, I believe it was called the Fallout Theater, and you know, it's a small venue, but there was a comedian there, and he was like asking out a question, but I didn't know that the question he was asking was rhetorical, so I answered it out loud, and then I started, you know, he started going back and forth with me, and my answer was making the audience laugh, his answer was making them laugh harder, my answer was making them laugh harder. It's like, oh shit, it's like, wow, I'm not used to feeling this energy with a crowd, like that's amazing. And then and the comedian's name was Dave Ross, not related to the roast master General Jeff Ross, but Dave Ross, very cool guy. And then he talked to me after that, and then I will always remember this. He said, if you don't start doing open mics after tonight, I'm gonna be upset with you. So after that, I was off to the races. Now, I've only done open mics. I've only done stand-up 4 times in my life. And as soon as I'm able to have a car again, I would love to go back to it. Because, like, for the last couple years, I don't have a ton of jokes, but anytime I just start sitting around and then I just go, ha! Like that, like I thought of something funny, make sure I write it down and I don't forget it. Let's hear a line if you've got one prepared. What does a pizza delivery guy and a gynecologist have in common? They can both smell it, but they can't eat it. I remember telling that in one of my college classes at the Art Institute of Houston in 2013, and when I told that, the professor was laughing his the professor was laughing his ass off. So I knew I got something with that one. And the fact that I still remember it all these years later tells me that's a keeper. But the problem is being able to constantly write new jokes all the time, because I don't know how to get into that mode yet. What's my opinion about hearing the Jurassic Park theme when you die as an obese person? I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, an obese person dying and then you hear the Jurassic Park theme. I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny. And I can laugh at that joke because my dad was 500 pounds when he passed away. As I always used to think I'm too boring to be a comedian, but then, you know, the trauma I went through in 2021, then I realized, oh fuck, I've got a comedian's backstory, went through some horrific shit, and now and anyways. No. Oh, next up, boys, I absolutely would film myself doing stand-up and putting it on YouTube. I would absolutely do that. Kino says, dude, you're hilarious. You're cracking me up. Well, hopefully you're not taking too much crack. Rodrigo says hi from Mexico. Thanks for watching, Rodrigo. Welcome. Rodrigo, do they eat chili down in Mexico? Is that a popular thing? Kino says green crack. You know, like there was this one guy I had to block on the video that I uploaded from the stream of me eating a soup, where he said, "Oh, that evil villain laugh, bro. You're never gonna get a girlfriend laughing like that." It's like, bitch, that's how I laugh. Can't change anything about that. Like when you find something humorous, you get an automatic response that's uncontrollable. Because you find something really funny, that's what my laugh sounds like. Fuck that motherfucker. Orotu, you practice, or your Ultra Dice 64 now. You practiced on your dad's electric guitar the other day. What guitar did he have? Exactly. Exactly. What does a laugh have to do with getting any girl? Those assholes. Exactly. It's weird, though. Your comment wasn't showing up on my, Oh, it's a Washburn 6-string. Cool. Tornadoes, at least from what I'm aware of, I don't see any tornadoes here. Washburn 6-string. It's 20 years old. Cool. Pretty much, I've only ever played, I think, Washburn acoustic guitars. I know for sure I've played some Washburn electrics, but for whatever reason, they're kind of hard to find now. I don't know if there's like any major retailers that sell Washburn guitars anymore. Excuse me. Because I know that Nuno Betancourt from the band Extreme, who is amazing, he's probably had a signature Washburn guitar longer than any other guitar player. And I knew that Dimebag Darrell in the 90s, he had Washburn guitars too. I know Paul Stanley from Kiss played them. And I remember before, George Lynch had this really cool one. He had this really cool acoustic signature, which, you know, he's primarily known for playing ESP, but he had a signature Washburn acoustic guitar that had like a skeleton cowboy painted on it. It was really cool looking. Hmm. Rodrigo says, not exactly. You just have spicy beans. Okay. Cano, yes. This chili does have beans in it. I wanted to make chili without beans. It's not that I have a hard agenda against beans. Can you imagine on fucking CNN or Fox News if they said, this just in, beans are evil. Do not ever eat them in your chili. But, but my aunt can't stand chili without beans, and she said, Jaron, if you cook chili without beans, I'm not gonna eat it, which is kind of non-Texan of her to say. But you have to remember, my aunt, oh god, my aunt is Filipino, so, but you know, she's been living here longer than I've been alive. Eduardo says, hello, brother. God damn, these allergies are fucking me up. As hello, brother, I'm from Brazil. You're a nice guy, we're brothers. Thanks, Eduardo. Welcome to the stream. Ultra Dice says you also have a piano too? Cool. We've got 30 live viewers. Where were all you guys where were all of you when I was playing The Witcher? We only had like 12 or 13 people in at the most. Manny is saying, what do you think of the new Naughty Dog IP? Come on. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. I'm so looking forward to that. I mean, Naughty Dog is my favorite studio of all time. The Last of Us Part 1, my favorite game of all time. Neil Druckmann, one of my favorite video game writers. And please, directors, I mean. And please, for the love of God, whatever her name was, I need to look it up. Just tell me who the writer is. Because Hallie Gross. I do not want her writing this next fucking game. Because I have a strong feeling if Neil wrote The Last of Us Part 2 by himself, like he did Part 1, it would have been so much better. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't doubt that Hallie Gross is a good writer. It's just because before she worked on The Last of Us Part 2, before that she was actually writing on Westworld for HBO. And I enjoyed season 1 of Westworld, but I never watched the other seasons they had for it. But I always, I don't know, I just felt like the elements that she brought into it, I always felt like the romance between Ellie and Dina, like in the beginning, it felt really forced. And it didn't feel it felt way too forced to me. And Neil specifically brought Hallie on because he said, I can't write romance, but Hallie Gross can. And then it's just, However, if Neil Druckmann, or get a brand new writer, give someone else a shot. If Neil is only in the director's chair and you can just get a brand new writer and, you know, keep the same gameplay directors you had for Uncharted and The Last of Us, it's going to be cool because I love the 80s, and seeing you're a bounty hunter in space in like an 80s retro future style type of thing, and then you were playing Pet Shop Boys on your CD player, I'm in. And I also like how it's so different because, you know, like The Last of Us and Uncharted, gameplay-wise, they were mostly shooters. Whereas the gameplay footage that they showed, it showed the main character, I think her name is Jordan, and she had a fucking laser sword, like getting ready to fight some giant robot. It's like, I'm cool with that. I mean, all I've ever wanted was a new IP from Naughty Dog, because it's like, I was always saying I would much rather see a new IP than them making The Last of Us Part 3 or Uncharted 5 or whatever. I really hope they don't make an Uncharted 5, because I felt like Uncharted 4, they wrapped up the story very nicely. Just leave it alone. Let it go. I heard rumors that another studio was going to make a new Uncharted. It's like, as long as you don't involve Nathan Drake, but you just want to do Uncharted, like set in the same world, you want to make it involve other characters that we've never heard of. Okay, I'm fine with that, but please don't bring Nathan Drake back. Uncharted 4 ended perfectly. All right. I need to keep up with the chat room. Exactly, Manny. That's the bullshit that makes me hate the internet sometimes. So many people are trashing it without playing a single second of gameplay. It's like, oh no, you have a bald Asian woman as the main character in a PlayStation exclusive. Oh no, this game is gonna suck. That's my impression. That's my impression of all those fucking keyboard warrior assholes. Why don't you wait until the fucking game comes out? Play the fucking thing, then, and only then will I listen to your fucking opinion. I even heard lots of people talking shit about Grand Theft Auto 6, saying, oh, well, you're gonna get the main character as a woman? Oh no, this game is gonna suck. Okay, number one, first off, motherfuckers, you're gonna be switching back and forth between Lucia and Jason, the two main characters. And first of all, how are you not gonna first of all, it's fucking Rockstar Games. Second of all, we've been waiting, what, 12 years now for this game to come out, and you're going to dismiss all of it just because you don't like the idea of playing as a woman? It's like, who gives a shit? A good video game is a good video game regardless of the fucking gender of the main character. I'm so sick and tired of all the fucking people on these fucking internet comments. Like, God, it's like, oh man. And that's why Joe Rogan says never read internet comments. Yeah, exactly, Manny. It will be very interesting to see Naughty Dog in space. I mean, was Jak and Daxter technically, did they ever go to space? Ultra Dice is saying, would it be better to get a single electric guitar and a separate amp? Yes. The gold standard of guitar amps that I recommend to any beginner, look up the Boss Katana, the 50-watt one. They also actually make smaller versions too. I believe they also have like a Katana Mini if you don't want something that's going to take up a ton of space. But even then, the Katana 50 is like just a standard guitar amp, but that amp is the gold standard. It's a modeling amp, so you can get lots of different tones. You can also connect it to your PC, download other presets. Man, I don't know why I'm getting the urge to hiccup so much. And man, this chili, I don't know if Lovely is still here in the live chat, but this chili is doing similar things to that soup. Like, you get me talking about Naughty Dog and fucking Rockstar Games, then I get all fired up. I get all fired up like Cornholio. Oh, they're still looking at that guitar. That Ibanez Geo, yeah, the one with that blue chameleon, yeah. I think for $300, because I can only speak to actual guitar models I've played. I have never found another guitar for $300 that feels or plays better than that Ibanez Geo. Kino says, do you rap? No, I'm not a rapper. I'm a guitar player and a singer. I mean, the closest thing I could do to rap is if I'm ever doing a Red Hot Chili Peppers cover. of any of the songs where Anthony Kiedis is rapping. But I mean, I guess I could also do some Rage Against the Machine covers if you want to see that from me. Except now with YouTube's copyright bullshit, also with their terms of service bullshit. I mean, I'm sure they would allow. I'm pretty sure that it should be fine to cover Rage Against the Machine, but because of Zach De La Rocha's lyrics, I wouldn't know. But but you never know unless you try. What do I think of that new game coming out from the creator of what was that? I've never heard of that. The Shadow of the Colossus creator as a new game. Was it announced at the Game Awards? I think I might have missed that because the only trailers I saw at the Game Awards was Intergalactic, Mafia: The Old Country, and The Witcher 4. All right, then the chili is done. Manny? What's the name of that game from that Shadow of the Colossus trailer? I should look it up. No, Ultra Dice. That boss. No, it's. I think the Katana Mini ones. Those can be used as. I think you could power those off of batteries, but really, if you actually want to be able to play, if you're at the point where if you want to play with other people, I would recommend using. I'd recommend using the Katana, like just getting the Katana 50, the one that just plugs in. But you could absolutely, but if you're only using it just for learning, just for practicing at home, you would be fine with just the Katana Mini. But if you're ever in a situation where if you want to play with a band, then I would go for the Katana 50, or even maybe the 100. But that might be for later on. But if you want to get like your first true great first amp, I recommend get that Boss Katana 50. You want to play it at work sometimes? Well, it just depends. If you're, it's called Project Robot. All right, thanks, Manny. But they also have this like wireless adapter too, where you could plug it in and use it wirelessly. But as far as the power goes, you would still have to plug it in. But but you could have it where you have like a wireless guitar jack. Okay, then if that's the case, then you would just want to get like the Katana Mini, like that battery powered one, so you could take it around with you, because that 50-watt amp, it's loud enough to play with a drummer. If I had to choose between playing guitar or going live, but I don't know what you mean by that. Because the whole point of playing guitar is so that you can get up on stage and play some songs. SpongeBob. Caveman Media says, I'm eating pizza. What's your favorite slice? I mean, I always like a supreme type of pizza. I also love deep dish pizza. I also really enjoy barbecue chicken pizza as well. And I also like the spinach Alfredo. Those are good too. Just off the top of my head, caveman, that would be my favorite type of pizza. Then again, you might get Karens mad at me, yeah. Because God forbid, nothing worse than a fucking Karen getting mad at you. But I would just say grab the mini. Because the 50 is if you're wanting to actually plug something in and you want to play loud. But if you're just practicing, the Katana Mini would be good. Manny, I don't know if you ever heard me say that, but The Last of Us Part 1 is my favorite game of all time. Thankfully, the urge to sneeze is going down. Eduardo, I've already answered this question multiple times. I do not like the Souls games. They're not for me. If you enjoy them, that's great. More power to you. They are not for me. I've tried Bloodborne. I've tried Elden Ring. And I turned them off after 2 hours because I thought I'm not enjoying them. Ugh. Okay. Well, anyways, live stream is going to continue, but as far as the actual recorded video that I'm going to do, that's the end of it. See you next time. For those of you that's just watching this on the YouTube upload.